everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Callie for those of you who are new here, and today I'm going to talk about my top tips for sunburns and sun safety. I will admit that this is a little bit ironic timing since last week. In my video on my top 10 tips for skincare, I talked about how important it is to wear sunscreen and avoid the sun. And then this week I'm doing a video about sunburns because, well, I'll just tell you what happened. So basically, I went to go visit my boyfriend for the 4th of July, and someone that he worked with offered to take us on a fishing trip. So we were like, awesome, sounds lovely. And so I went and got some sunscreen. We were putting it on before we got on the boat. We were like, wow, it was just going on so light and watery. It didn't have any smell to it, no color, and we're like, wow, this is some great stuff. And I was so impressed. I was like, this is a brand I'll go back to. And then we get out on the water, and we're getting a little warm, and we're kind of just like, you know, it's 94 degrees outside, there's no clouds in the sky, and we're in the middle of a lake, so the sun is reflecting off the water back onto us. Like, maybe it's just inevitable that we're burning and it's just crazy hot. And then we get off the water for lunch, come back, and then we go to reapply sunscreen, and all of a sudden we shake the bottle and it just starts spraying real white on our arms, and we're like, so what happened basically, I don't know if it was an old bottle or something like that, but the water and the sunscreen had separated in the bottle, and so for the entire first half of the day, all we had on us was water. Needless to say, got these really nice sunburn lines now, which is lovely. Since it was the 4th of July and I figured a lot of people were outside on the water and in the sun, it would be a great time to talk about my top tips for sunburns and sun safety. So let's get into it. So when it comes to prevention, my number one tip is to make sure you get a broad spectrum sunscreen, because there's two different types of UV rays that can hurt your skin. There's UVA and UVB. UVA rays are the rays that cause wrinkles and premature aging, dark spots, those types of things. UVB rays are the type that burn your skin. Both of the rays, UVA and UVB, can both cause skin cancer. And so if you want to cover all your bases, you need to make sure that you have a broad spectrum sunscreen so you're protected from both UVA and UVB rays. So my second tip is that SPF in your foundation is not enough. So if you think about it like this, the amount of moisturizer that you put on your face is probably equivalent to the amount of sunscreen that you would put on if you were not putting on any makeup at all. And so if you compare that amount of moisturizer to the amount of foundation that you're putting on your face, there's no way that the amount of foundation has the amount of sunscreen that you need in it. And so if you're just wearing a foundation that has like SPF 15 in it, it's not doing a good enough job at adequately protecting your skin from the sun. So you need to always make sure that you're putting on sunscreen with your foundation, even if your foundation has SPF in it. My third tip for preventing sunburns is that just because you have a higher SPF number in your sunscreen doesn't mean that you should apply it less frequently. So basically, how you think of this is like sunscreen's just lotion that you put on, and they're both going to wear away just as fast as the other one is. One just protects you more from the sun than the other one does. So you need to make sure that you're applying just as frequently as you would with the SPF 15 as you would with a 50. Just because you have a higher SPF number does not mean that you get to apply it less. Plain and simple. Okay, moving on to treatment. The first thing I always make sure to do when I get a sunburn, especially on my face, is to pull back on my skincare routine a little bit and use simpler skincare products. Because I have acne and acne-prone skin and it's oily, I've got a lot of salicylic acid and other types of active ingredients in my skincare. And so when I have a burn on my face, if I was to use that on my burns, it would further irritate my skin. It would take longer to heal because I was adding more irritation to my skin, so it wasn't giving it a chance to heal. So you need to make sure you take a step back and give your skin some room to breathe, and make sure you're focusing on moisturizing rather than treating your acne. And when you are pulling back on your skincare products enough, don't skimp on the moisturizer. Your skin is so dehydrated and you need to replenish it. So you need to make sure you're moisturizing. And a good thing to swap out when you have a sunburn, if you have acne, if you're using a super strong toner, is witch hazel. Because witch hazel does a lot of the same things. It like helps clean out pores that are clogged and clean away excess oil and that kind of stuff, but it also is going to be super good for your sunburn. It really is helpful with redness and inflammation, and so it's the perfect thing put in place of your toner when you have a sunburn. And it's a go-to for me when I have a sunburn because it helps so much. Yeah, so another tip is to use aloe as a moisturizer when you have a sunburn, because I feel like everyone knows the benefit of aloe when it comes to sunburns because it's so widely used, and it's been like my go-to since I was was a kid, so it's just so soothing. It helps cool your skin, and it's a good moisturizer, especially when your skin's peeling, because it's not too thick, and it's not gonna, when you're putting it on, you're not gonna be pulling off skin, and that could further irritate your skin when you're trying to heal your sunburn. So you don't want to do that. Aloe's a good one. So a lot of people I found like cold compresses. I don't, but I thought I should include them because they're so popular, and whether you use like a bag of peas if your sunburn's really bad. But the reason I don't like them is because like when you put a bag of peas on your shoulder, it's like then you have to pull it off, and I felt when I was little pulling off the bag of peas was just hurt even more than it was worth putting the bag of peas on to help my sunburn. So we just avoid that altogether. But there's a lot of natural ones you can do, like you can blend a cucumber up after you peel it and you can make it into a paste and either put it on your skin directly, or you can put it into like a little sachet and use it as like a spot treatment, which either one works, whatever is up to you. But there's a lot of things on the internet you can look into, and a lot of things that can help your sunburn with cold compresses if that's something that you really like. So my next tip is to take a lukewarm shower or bath, and with this it's really important to make sure that the water isn't too hot, because if it's too hot it's gonna further irritate your skin, and that's not what you need when you're trying to soothe and heal a sunburn. So like the lukewarm water is just gonna relax you, and it's gonna help draw out like some of the heat that's in your sunburn, which can ease some of the itchiness and redness and like just toughness that you feel when you have a sunburn. And it's also great to add lavender oil to your baths, or even use it in the shower, I guess. But lavender oil is really good with soothing the skin, and so that's a really good thing to use when you have a sunburn. And I actually use a shower gel that has lavender oil in it, and it's been clutch, because this was not fun. And that definitely helped me feel way better once I got out of the shower on the first day, when it's just like, oh no. And so my next tip is to drink water, because water is crucial, and you need it. It's probably gonna be in every tip video I ever make, because water is that important. And when you have a sunburn, your skin is so dehydrated, and you need to drink water, because drinking water will actually make your sunburn heal faster, and it'll help you feel better. It'll just cool you down from the inside out, as replenishing your skin from the inside out, which is also something I talked about in my last video. There's a link down below if you want to go check that out. So my last and final tip, if you're someone that likes to avoid taking over-the-counter medications as much as possible, maybe don't follow this one, because a lot of anti-inflammatory drugs like Advil and Motrin, ibuprofen are really helpful when you have a sunburn, because they're anti-inflammatory, and so they're gonna help with not only the pain and the itchiness that your skin's experiencing, but help kind of like uninflame it. Is that a word? Deflate. It's gonna deflate your skin a little bit. Deflame it and let it relax. Give it some relief, and that's what you need when you have a sunburn, because it's not fun. But those are my tips for when you have a sunburn and tips for sun safety. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you have any requests for me in the future. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every Monday. And take the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!